Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm your host D-Day, and today we will be doing part 3, the final 36 challenges, which you can see I got 37, but that's going to be a little bonus at the end. These are going to be challenges 25 through 36 so that you can unlock the monolith wings as well. So I'll jump straight into it. I have all of the MTX set up on the character so that it's visible now, the aura, the helmet, and the back attachment. So I'll go over the ones that I did to complete the final challenges required. Let's see, I left them open like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to post in this video screenshots of my challenges that have the episode in them in which I completed the challenge. So if you're new to the channel and this is the first video that you're checking out, I ran an entire series on Slayer Crit Cyclone. I believe it was 35 episodes long, and in it I leveled up from level 1 to maps, and then I completed all of the challenges myself. So I'll be able to put in little snapshots where the episode is, if you wanted to watch the exact episode in which I did the challenges, for example. So the first challenge down the list that I did for the final 12 challenges is complete these encounters too. I went ahead with, when I was overpowered in the build, I went back and I did these maps. So defeating Hephaestus, the Hammer, in the Chateau while he was enraged. I believe I did that one on accident, to tell you the truth. I went straight into the boss and immediately cycloned him, and he happened to be enraged. So I believe I got credit for that one. But then with the snapshot now, it shows what episode I defeated Shock and Horror in the mineral pool map while it has at least 10 lightning warp totems active. I did this one by also rolling the map to have twinned bosses so that more lightning warp totems get placed, because there's 2 bosses placing them. So I did that one first try. And then defeating all 3 members of the Undead Trio in the Graveyard map within 3 seconds of each other. I ran trial and error on it a couple of times, because you have to kill the boss or one of the 3 bosses from time to time, so that it goes into the final phase where all 3 of them are active. And then I believe I did a little bit of cycloning around to make sure that all of them were going to die at the same time. So 3 seconds. 3 seconds really is a long time if you think about it, and getting this should be fairly simple. My cyclone AoE was large enough for me to be able to hit all 3 of them at the same time, so they all died instantaneously all together. So I got that one. And then defeat the Beast of the Pits in the Barrows map. When you first jump in, there'll be a magic mob pack. If you can kill them first, the very first thing that the Beast of the Pits does is he charges you. And if you're close to the wall and you jump out of the way, or you use any movement skill to move out of the way, instead of hitting you, he'll hit the wall, he'll bounce back and fall on his butt, and that's when he's stunned, and you just have to kill him while he's vulnerable. That's so stunned, vulnerable. He'll actually do an animation where he'll sit down, because it's a giant bear. So that's encounters 2. Also, I did open Legion chests, which the chests weren't a problem. You have to break them, of course, when you do your timeless monoliths in your maps. 800 of them, it's just a grind fest. You just keep running your maps. You just keep popping every single one of the timeless monoliths. Go specifically for all the symbols and for all the chests, because when you break a chest, it also breaks a lot of the enemies that are around the chest. The issue that I was running into was the Legion Warhordes. For some crazy reason, I got stuck at 76 for like a week and a half. I just kept running maps and maps and maps, but the war hordes just stopped showing up, and I was getting frustrated. Even made a joke on stream about GGG putting it in the algorithm that they give you less of a chance of getting a horde the higher you are in the challenge, so that you're almost done with the challenge and it makes you not quit the league, but they're not going to give you those last 4 because they want to keep you locked in on the league. But yeah, that's me just being silly. So same thing, both of these, it's just a grind fest. You just have to keep doing maps, keep popping your timeless monoliths. I also completed Encounters 3, which all of these can be done with Zana mods. So completing trades with Kadiro, that has, I believe, a 33% chance when you do the Zana mod. He has a 33% chance to spawn in your map. So all of the horrendous map mods that you choose, so let me check. I can do it without a map, right? Yeah. So horrendous, applying that area has 33% chance to contain Kadiro. And area contains 3 additional horrendous chests, which if he would pop up more often, I probably wouldn't have the coins to buy from him anyway. So all of the times he's not popped, those are coins that you're collecting, because you do need to give those coins to complete the trade. Strong boxes is domination, I believe. No, that's shrines. Ambush. Ambush is extra strong boxes, so this map mod, you attach that to your map so you can get extra strong boxes. Shrines is was ambush. No, now I'm mixing up. Domination is shrines, so use that map mod for shrines. And then Rogue Exiles is anarchy. So I kind of always ran Bloodlines. I like Bloodlines a lot because it gives additional magic monster packs, and magic monsters, they drop maps. And I usually run Bloodlines so that I can get more map returns. So it makes it easier for me to run the, what's it called? The Atlas completion. So I do that. I do Bloodlines most of the time. And the Rogue Exiles, they spawn. The Shrines, they spawn. All of these things, except for horrendous. Beyond can spawn on map mods, you know. You can get these, and then at the very end, I think what I was grinding, you have to get a certain ways into the Zana quest line, and it unlocks horrendous. I believe when you get to defeating the Shaper, I believe, is it popped horrendous on here. So I just started running horrendous until I got all 15 of his trades. I skipped maybe one because it was 4,000 coins and I didn't have it, but a lot of these are very cheap. Like I remember buying a couple of chaos for like 50 coins. So and then yeah, whenever you get closer to completing this quest, when I completed horrendous, I think I still had shrines left. So then I just ran a couple of extra shrines until I got this. Also, it's a grind fest. You know, you have to use the map device to get these up and running. Allocate Legion passives. This was really awkward and embarrassing to do on stream because I was messing up. I went ahead and I believe I got one from Legion fights. And I believe it was the Glorious Vanity. I think I got this one from doing Timeless Conflicts. And then later I got 2 of the Elegant Hubris. And I bought these other 4. So what I did was, in my passive tree, I willy-nilly placed them wherever I had a jewel socket, trying to just allocate them. I believe the only 2, if you're Slayer Cyclone or if you're on this side, I used this socket, so I went with this keystone. I grabbed this. I went non-crit for a second just so I could do the achievement. I grabbed this jewel socket and I put all of the jewels in here, and it gave me all of the major keystones. And then I put a couple in here, and it changed the notable. So the keystones can all be gotten from this guy, and I put in a lot of them in here, and I got the notable from here. But then I realized that I completely forgot I had tempered flesh in here. So the ones I was missing, I swapped them in here where I put my tempered flesh for the crit. And that gave me the rest of the notables. But I'm also going to put in the snapshot now for the episode that you can watch it. It's kind of cringy, but you know, if you enjoy watching people play and they're casual and they're cool about it, then give it a shot. You can even leave a comment, tell me how terrible it is. This one, completing maps with sextants. All of these are mixed up between white, yellow, and red sextants. And the two that I'm missing, I believe, are both red sextants. So there was, when I started getting a lot of these done, I think I was at 5 out of 9. I got kind of frustrated. Currency wasn't an issue. And I just started rolling through my map. I believe I was down here somewhere with white and yellow maps, because the majority of them are going to be white and yellow sextant mods, and I just kept rolling it until it was one that I wanted. So since if I roll a sextant mod here, and it applies to everything inside this circle, it also keeps the other ones that are touching from being able to roll that exact one. So the chances were higher of me rolling the ones I wanted when I rolled them in a cluster like this. So I would roll this white one until I got one I wanted, and then it would exclude that from the list. So then I would roll the next one until I got a next one, and it would exclude those two from the list. And then I kept rolling until I got the next one, and it would exclude getting those 3 or the previous 2 from being rolled again. So it removed them, and then I believe when I was 5 out of 9, I just kept rolling until I got all 4 of them, and then I ran that one map, and I got credit for all of them. But yeah, I'll put up a little screenshot now where I wrote down the white, yellow, or red sextants for each of these guys here. I also completed Complete These Encounters 5. This one was kind of fun. These are the ones that I always save to the very end because like Encounters 2 are the easy map bosses and their mechanics. 5 is the hard maps. So these are all going to be red maps. I have a screenshot of that as well. I know I did Armala, dedicated episode. Cleansing Light had a dedicated episode, and then Vision of Justice, I did her on my first try, so then I combined that episode. Vision of Justice and Woad are both in the same episode as well. But again, you can watch those episodes. Armala, I did discover that when the giant spider spits the spider eggs, it leaves webs on the ground. So you have to dodge the fox, because the fox ends up burning the stacks of covered in webs off of you. You have to avoid the fox. Also try not to die to all the chaos damage that it does. I know I jumped right in front of the boss at one point in the episode trying to avoid the fox, and I got shotgunned by the chaos damage. But if you walk over the AoE of where the eggs land, it still covers you in webs. I thought you had to be physically hit by the projectile. So I believe in the video I walked over some AoE of some stacks that hit the ground, and then I was hit by eggs, and then I did my leap slam and culled, and I got credit for it. Cleansing Light, moving the statues. The key thing that I want to say is you have to go into his final phase. If you do it at the beginning and you phase him and he goes into the middle and calls his ads, it also resets all of the statues, puts them all back in their starting locations. I learned that one on stream with you guys as well. You have to do it in the final phase. Also, Woad is the the Avarius, Emperor Avarius resurrected boss fight. This one doesn't have phases, so then I did the opposite mistake and I accidentally culled him in the beginning. I was like, ooh, I guess he doesn't have phases. So Woad is an easier form of cleansing light. Vision of Justice, I found out, it says you have to kill her while being affected by an offering of judgment. It's a purple circle on the ground. So if you're melee, it'd be a great idea to run circles around the boss until the purple offering gets spit on the ground. What I found out, a lot of people online are saying that the orange offering works as well. So you have to physically be standing in the purple or the orange. It's a degen, so be careful, it'll kill you real fast. You have to kill the boss while standing in that circle, and that'll complete these encounters. And like I said, I'll also add a screenshot of my the episodes that I did these challenges in. So if you want to go watch them, you can click on those after this video. Completing Timeless Conflict 1. This was a grind. You have to do 4 factions, so 4 different emblems first to unlock your 5 faction map device. So then I spent all league getting my own Makareth emblem, which is the hardest one to get, and I ran my own 5 faction Timeless Conflict, and it ramps really high in difficulty. Like, the bosses got so much more HP and defense. I was kind of disappointed that I was only able to do 1 round with all 5 of them, but I did complete it with the build that I was on, and I'll leave a little screenshot now, of course, for what episode you can watch the 5-way battle. I also did completed maps with 8 mods, which the 8 mod maps, they have to be done on red maps. It says here, complete 30 red tier rare maps. It has to be an 8 mod on a red tier map. And then to get 8 mods, you have to Val Orb your red maps. So alch them, make sure you can run it with the stats that are on it. Hit it with a Val, you have a small chance of it turning into an 8 mod map. If you have advanced tooltips shown on your options menu, if you go to options, let me see where it is. Is it under UI? I like always show sockets, I like that. Show full descriptions when highlighting, no. Corpse targeting, that's for Desecrate. Guild chat. Auto equip, mouse wheel zooms, or gem. Advanced mod descriptions, here it is. Trin didn't have it active on her account, so I'll save it now. Advanced mod descriptions, if you have this clicked, now when you click on an item and you hold down Alt, it tells you the swing of prefixes and suffixes. So when you find a map and you're not 100% sure, does this have 8 mods? As long as you activated that in the UI and hold down Alt, now you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because the lines, if you count just the lines, you might be wrong. Because if you notice, monsters cannot be taunted and monsters' action speed cannot be modified to below base value. That is 1 modifier. So not 2 lines, but 1 modifier. So just counting 8 lines does not necessarily mean you have an 8 mod map. That's the only bummer. But also, I rolled a couple of 8 mod maps in my Legion challenges 12 through 20, or 13 through 24. I rolled some in that video. So if you watched the previous part 2 of the challenges, then you probably caught that as well. And then you just need to run 30 of them. One thing that I can recommend that I used to do in previous leagues is you can jump into rotations in Global 820 or Trade 820. If you link your map and show that it's an 8 mod, you can join a party of other people, and everybody takes turns going to their hideouts and runs and completes the 8 mod map. So I believe you can get these, what is that? So maybe 8 runs, 7 or 8 runs with rotation, so you would only need 7 or 8 8-mod maps if you do full rotations to get credit for this one. But since I was really big into doing everything myself this league, I did all 30 myself. It meant a lot to me to be able to rely on myself, and I might even try solo self-found next league just to mix things up. The next challenge that I completed were unique maps. I did save all of the unique maps that were dropping because I was planning on running all of these with Trin so that we could both get credit for them. But then I decided I wanted to finish this league. That's why the unique maps, I saved them all the way until the very end of the league and completing the 36 challenges. One great thing is sometimes when you do your Zana daily, she gives you an option of doing a unique map. And I believe, let me see, which one was it? It was Putrid Cloister. In one of my streams, I got surprised by Zana giving me Putrid Cloister as an option. And it is the same episode as the Armala, the Widow fight with the stacks of webs. I ran Putrid Cloister because Zana gave me this, and I ran it specifically so that I could get Atlas bonus for it. So that's why I have 16 out of 15. Grandmasters, I don't know if I can solo it. Doriani's is expensive. Vingtar's is expensive. I know I got really lucky on a horrendous incubator. It dropped horrendous Manor for me, and I could have sold it for a lot, but I really wanted to run it and have that on my stream and as a video on YouTube for people to enjoy. So I can leave a little snapshot now of the episode where I run horrendous Manor. So if you're curious to see what the map looks like, you can watch that episode. I also did complete these encounters. What is that? 6. Roman numeral 6. Complete the beachhead. Defeat Adziri in the Temple of Atzawatl. Defeat the Pale Council, and unlocking veiled modifiers. So unlocking veiled modifiers comes from doing June dailies. Every time you do a June daily, and you have options of betraying or interrogating, you get veiled modifiers, of course, on items. And every time you bring it to June, you can choose what to unveil. And when you get rank 1, it adds it so that you can start crafting that one yourself. So it's kind of like you're leveling up those veiled modifiers. You just need to get 60 different ones and you get credit for it. I know I got credit for these 60 way before I did the other 3. What I was saving this challenge for was defeating Adziri in the Temple of Atzawatl. I had to do Alva dailies like crazy to get the Royal Meeting Room, and then I had to level that one up to level 3 to be able to get Adziri in the Temple of Atzawatl. And the beachhead, I ended up buying it because you need Harbinger orbs and you need to get lucky to be able to do that one. So I just bought it. It was cheap. And the Pale Council, instead of buying the keys or paying for the run in 820, I bought the prophecies for them. And I popped the prophecies because the prophecies are a lot cheaper than the keys, and completing the prophecies gives you the keys. The only one that I kind of am irked by, which you might want to just buy the key for, I don't remember which one it was, but one of them requires you to run the labyrinth, and in the treasure room is when I believe it's Unbearable Whispers. If I'm wrong, somebody can correct me in the comments. It's they jump you in the treasure room, and you know, if you're not paying attention, you can die in the treasure room, which is kind of frustrating. Plus you need to run Labyrinth to be able to complete that one, and I like Labyrinth when I have a really tanky build, but other than that it stresses me out and I don't like running labs at all. But I'll put a little screenshot now of the episodes, because I know I did Pale Council and Beachhead at the same time. I did Adziri in the Temple of Atzawatl first. I don't have an episode for Veiled Modifiers because that just happened by playing the game. But when I got Adziri in the Temple of Atzawatl, I knocked out the other 2 to complete this challenge. Completing Timeless Conflicts 2. This one was a grind What I did was the revive 10 generals in a single domain of timeless conflict. I believe I did that in a 2 emblem fight. I kept resurrecting the same 2 because they're a lot easier to defeat in 2s than in 5s. They have, I believe, with my build, with how it's been feeling with me, jumping from 3 to 4 has a really big spike in defenses and HP for the bosses. So I like to run 3s. And I believe I ran a 2 specifically to get this challenge. When I got this challenge, the rest ends up just turning into a grind, which I felt running 3 emblem fights was juicy with rewards as well as grinding these numbers out. And I believe I only ran maybe 4 or 5 total timeless conflicts, and I got credit for this one. Again, it's a grind. Completing deadly encounters. This one is one that I am very proud of. I'll put the screenshot up now. I know I have different episodes for each one of these because they are all a big deal. The Val Temple map, that is the smallest chance when you're rolling your red maps and you're valing them to get your 8 mods or your unidentifieds for those challenges. You have a really slim chance of it turning into the tier 16 Val Temple map, which all League of Valing, I only got 1 of them, and I ran it and I got credit for that one. Also, all League, I was running all of the interrogations and safe houses. I got Mastermind ready once. All League, only once. It took a long time for this one to spawn, and I'm not 100% sure if the tier you do your June dailies in affects what area level the Mastermind spawns in, but when I popped Mastermind, I was worried it wasn't going to be 83, and it was exactly 83. So did the Mastermind in a different episode. And then the Breach boss, while I was working for the Mastermind, I was also working really hard to get It That Fled into research and as the leader, because rank 3 It That Fled in research as the leader of the safe house gives you 2 crafting benches where you can turn breach stones into pure breach stones, which I ended up running the after resetting it with Mastermind, I ended up working really hard to get It That Fled back into research, back into rank 3, rolled it, and now I have 2 Chiula's pure breach stones for sale for 400 chaos each. I have D&D active, that's why nobody's asking me for them yet. But that is very lucrative, you know, for putting in the effort, for putting It That Fled into research, putting in your Chiula stones, turning them into pure stones. 800 chaos profit from doing that work. I think that was the thing that made me happiest this league when it came to... I used to flip currency, and that's how I would make most of my currency in previous leagues. But doing Betrayal and getting those pure stones, I ran 1 of them, I sold 1 of them, and now I have 2 more that I can sell. It is really fun to put in the effort to get an item that's worth that much to sell. So I'll put in a snapshot now for the episodes. All 4 of these are on different episodes. So that's the 36 challenges to be able to get the monolith wings, which you can see on my character. I'll go ahead and I'll zoom in a little bit. I love the spikes, and purple is my favorite color, so I love the purple. The wings, they do move around, which I know some people have complained about, but I actually like having dynamic items better, because there's some of the static MTXs from the past, like the Seraph wings that don't move. That bothers me a little bit, you know? So I like that they move. I think it's great. Overall, I love the MTX for this league. I'm really looking forward to next league. I was keeping my build a secret because I wanted to surprise everybody with it. Now that the Blight trailers and everything is out and everybody's talking about how Summoner is going to be overpowered, I'm really disappointed. You know, like it doesn't need to be a surprise anymore. I wanted to roll Summoner because There's one thing that I do every single league except for Legion. My league starter has been Summoner because I love Summoner. Physical skeletons is just the way to go for me. Back when I was playing Diablo 2 like a madman, it was all about Whirlwind, which I know a lot of y'all called me out on stream with me calling Cyclone Whirlwind. I know. I played Whirlwind like crazy, and I played Necromancer like crazy. It was all about Necromancer. And of course, you know, when the expansion came out, it was all about Druid. But here, you know, we need some skins for our zombies, right? Turn them into wolves for us, because we got the Ravens one for Summon Raging Spirits, so now we need the wolves for zombies. I'm all for it. I'll roll a Druid in this game. So that's the 36 challenges. And then one bonus that I'm going to leave for y'all is the 37 challenge that I did. Actually did it a couple of seconds after finishing recording the episode for the 36 challenges. I wanted to end the league. I want to take a break so that I don't burn out. But the one that I ended up doing for my 37th challenge was defeating a delve boss at an area level of 75 or higher without using flares. So the Abyssal Lich popped in an area while I was doing red maps, while I was progressing the Atlas. I got a random abyss. It turned into an Abyssal Depth. Great, that's RNG. And then that Abyssal Depth turned into a Lich. So that's RNG on top of RNG. I got lucky. I don't have a recording of this, unfortunately. Also, Abazoth, I got really lucky. In a tier 2 map, he spawned and he went crazy on me. Don't have a recording of it. It was probably at 2 a.m. at night while I was playing that he spawned on me. But I know you can do a map mod of Beyond Monsters on your map. You can also roll the Sextant mod for Beyond Monsters to double dip, and then you can also run Beyond to triple dip. So double dipping, I know, has a lot higher chance. So if you run a Zana mod of Beyond and you run all of your map mods that have slaying enemies causes Beyond bosses to spawn, do that, and eventually Abazoth pops. Bestiary boss was one of the red crabs that I caught while playing the series this league. So I was saving this one because I was constantly doing Nico, constantly trying to get the enough sulfurite to travel to the right over and over and over again. Did not get a single boss. So I went into trade 820. I bought this one challenge, so I can leave this episode off on that experience, which then I immediately followed off by killing off the crab boss to get the challenge 37, so that I can get the next to last totem piece. So now my Legion totem here matches the rest of my totems from previous leagues. So now I will segue into the Delve boss and the Bestiary boss for the totem piece. So I just accepted a guy's offer in trade 820. He has a Delve boss, and I'm gonna see if I can get credit for it. If I can get credit for this one here, then I'll go ahead and run the Bestiary boss and call it a league. Oh, I guess he's not running it. He wants us to run it with him. I don't care about picking anything up. Everybody's running Cyclone though, that's pretty funny. See, I'm not sure what etiquette would be. I would like to jump in there and do the boss fight too, but I don't know if he told everyone to stay outside. Turn off trade chat. Let's see, if he has any issues, we can jump in. But I'd rather err on proper etiquette. Let's see, we got Mewtwo and there we go. So we got credit. Let's see, should we trade him now or should trade him? He'll probably trade me. I'll wait for my turn. There we go. And one exalted for you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And I'm not going to pick up any of his loot. And leave party. And hideout. Awesome. So that was me joining Trade 820. He was offering to sell that specific challenge, which all of the leagues before this one, I have been so high anxiety about finishing all of the challenges before league's over that I would make a build to run what makes the most currency, and then I would use my currency to pay other people to complete my challenges, which was counteracting my anxiety about it. But also, I wasn't playing the game. You know, like, I was playing the game to earn currency and then pay for other people to play the game for me. And this league, especially now since I just started streaming, like, this gives me content to show, you know, and as a major excuse, you know, like, I'm actually doing the content now myself so that I can stream it and record it and show it. So I'm enjoying it a lot more. I know these recordings aren't necessarily tutorials. I'm pretty sure anybody can learn from my mistakes. Yeah, hopefully I'm at least entertaining while I'm attempting to do all of these challenges myself. I'm really happy though. That one hit the nail on the head. We got the one that was RNG. I was running my Nico daily every day. I was running Nico Scarabs. I was running Nico Prophecies to get Sulfurite. I was running my my mine, which I can show you now. I have been running it for a while now. So about here, I hit level 77. I started going off to the right, and I kept going down whenever I was forced to make a choice. Right here, this is a tiny area, but it's squared off, so I didn't explore it anymore. There's no boss in there, unfortunately. So I kept going, and I wasn't expecting it to be this difficult for me to find a boss. So I kept going, and then I found this area, but no boss inside of it. See, they're all outposts, and there's no symbol for the boss, and it ends here, of course, so I didn't pursue that. Probably bad luck. And then one more time, I kept going. I found another Abyssal Lich. Again, no boss inside, so maybe I just have really bad luck. Maybe going the deeper delves has higher chances of bosses, of course. I wanted to make it into the level 75 area so that I could get credit, and I was hoping that I could travel to the right faster than if I kept traveling down. Because when I got sulfurite from a daily, I could go down maybe once or twice, but I could go to the right maybe 3 or 4 times, 5 times sometimes, depending on how short the delves are. So I was making more progress going to the right than to the left. But with my luck, now that I bought it, before I completely end the league, I'll use these 9,000-ish sulfurite, and I'll keep moving a little bit. With my luck, I'll run into a boss. And if I do, I'll record that and I'll put that up. But if I don't, this will be the final video for Legion League. The only thing I need to do left is defeat a bestiary boss. That'll give me my 37th challenge for my totem. And then I'm good to take a break from Path of Exile so that I don't burn myself out like I did in previous leagues. I burnt myself out going for these totems. Like, they are more important to me than they should be. So let's, without further ado, let's go to the menagerie and we'll run our bestiary boss. Okay, so I'm going to run in Sand Stance. I have everything else ready. Blood Altar. Let's see. We did capture a red beast. That opens a portal to the Cratians Cove. Hopefully I pronounced that right. So let's do this and get the boss. So I gotta kill them to open up the portals. So here's the portals. This will take us to one of the 4 bestiary bosses. I did this in Bestiary League as well when I was going for the challenges. And I know in Bestiary League it was frustrating because you actually had to throw the net and capture the boss at the end. I'm not sure how this is going to work. If it's just a boss mechanic, there he is. He's a beefcake. Did I already push him into the next phase? No. I could see him on the map for a split second. There we go. There we go. Let's see what you got. Let me follow you. Whoa! Let me not talk smack. Okay, thank you for giving me some flask charges. There you go. Now you're running away. And I don't have to worry about catching him. Not this league. So maybe it auto-catches. Be really cool if Einhard joined the battle. So since this boss does do physical, I'm going to stay in Sand Stance so that I have the blind. There we go, guys. The league is done. Complete these encounters. What is that? I'm hoping that's a 4. 4. Defeat a bestiary boss. Complete. We got Goliath Greaves out of it, which that's the boots from the crab boss. And I am so happy. These are the 3 that I ended up skipping because I'm definitely not going for 40. And yeah, it's the endgame grinds, which I always skip. But I mean, it's something I could have done maybe. Delve encounters 80. That one is probably the Delve boss. Defeat factions in the domain of timeless conflict. I could grind those 200. The abysses, I could grind those. Uber Elder, I've had him once, and then I dilly-dallied on the second time. I could. So that's 3. Level to 100. I mean, I'm doing great this league. Maybe I can play better and not die as much. If I hadn't died, I'd probably be level 98. With the amount of times I've died, it's kind of sad. Completing map tiers, yeah, like I didn't even make half this league. That's a lot of work. And then these strong boxes, I didn't run into any, but I did later find out that the Zana dailies that I've been skipping have a chance to have a unique strong box as one of her options. So since I skipped her all league, of course I didn't get any. But so happy, 37 out of 40. That's the next to last totem piece that I love to go for. Let's hit tab. Check out our character. See, when he's in battle stance, it's a little bit more noticeable that the purple necrotic armor is not purple, it's blue. The MTX from Legion League definitely is purple, though. That's nice. I like it. Yeah, but the purple necrotic armor is definitely blue. The Legion weapon effect. Wow, I just thought about that. The weapon effect that I have, Legion weapon effect, is not from Legion League. It's from a core supporter pack. And it's funny that it's called Legion weapon effect. It's from the Legion core supporter pack, but it kind of matches the rest of the Legion MTX. Maybe we're gonna get more Legion themed MTX in the future. But yeah, that's 37 challenges. Let me see if the totem is completed. Sometimes it requires a logout, and sometimes it requires some... Nope, there it is. It's done. Very, very happy. So that is a completed league for me. So now I can add this trophy to the rest of them. I'm thinking about moving the trophies down the other direction, so now that it's complete, let me move him here. There we go. And then maybe I'll start working the trophies down this direction, since they create light. So there's my Legion trophy. A little anal retentive on the how straight it can be. There we go, Legion complete, totems match. And then next league I'll be back. I have some ideas for what I want to run as a league start. I know I have a specific build that I'm going to run for. And hopefully I'll read the patch notes and see if they change anything crazy. But then the new league totem will be right here, and we'll work it up, and I'll do another series on the new build, as well as guide for the challenges. And then yeah, I'm going to play some more Minecraft between seasons. I really want to go back to Feed the Beast Continuum, because that was the one I started with, as a little update to the channel. And we're about to hit 100 subscribers, so I'm going to make a thank you video. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you can hit the like button in the bottom right and go ahead and click on my guy here to subscribe to the channel, that would help us out a lot. Also, if you want to watch me stream on Twitch, I stream Monday through Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. Central, so I'll see you then.